Back in 1996, I bought this guitar, and it was no small purchase. At the time, my wife and I, Jan, had very limited income, and I'd been writing songs for a couple years and taking about every gig I could get, and working my regular daytime job at Alcoa. But we had a lot of medical bills at that time. This guitar has been an important part of my life. I've written most of my songs on it. I have also taken it all over to play fairs and festivals, not only throughout Indiana, but to Nashville and beyond, really. So it's like a good friend. Lots of memories. Exactly a year ago, I had made a decision that I was going to. I had too many guitars, and I needed to get rid of a couple. And this one had been sitting around, and I hadn't been playing it. And I thought, well, you know what? All my guitars, as my friend Kevin Ludwig says, they have to earn their keep. You know, to have them sitting around just to be sitting around is not a good thing. Instruments are meant to be played, and they're supposed to speak. And so I thought, well, you know what? Maybe it's time to let somebody else speak with this guitar. You might be saying to yourself right now, well, he's got it right now, so you obviously didn't get rid of it. Well, that's not the truth. I did get rid of it. And what happened was I took it and I traded it in for another instrument, and along with a couple other guitars, and I took it to Indianapolis. And I'm driving home, and I had this sudden, overwhelming feeling of, oh my gosh, what have you done? Flash forward to October 13th, 2011. Another few months had passed by, and that happened to be the anniversary of Jan's death. And I was having a really tough day. And it just so happens that day I had burnt a copy of my first CD that I had made, Who's Your Sir, for a fan who had heard me play somewhere, and I didn't have any copies of it. And I found out that he lived in Lafayette, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to burn a copy of it. I'm going to take it to him on the way home. He lived within 5 miles of my house. And so I test the CD that I had burned out. I put it in the car stereo, I turn it on, and the first thing that comes out is this guitar off of one of my tunes. And it just sounded so sweet, even 10 years later. It was a tough day. I was still feeling that way the next morning. And so I called my buddy Kevin Ludwig and said, Kevin, I'm just really down. I need something to uplift me. And he kind of talked me off the cliff. And by basically telling him about what he was going to do that day. He was off work, and he was going to go do some guitar shopping and trading. And he was going into this little guitar shop in Plainfield, Indiana, called Six Strings Down. And it's one that we stopped by, and he does a lot of trading in. Well, later that afternoon, Kevin calls me from that guitar shop and says, Scotty, I'm in here, I'm looking at these guitars, playing some guitars, trading an amplifier, and in walks a guy who was just showing off a guitar that he had picked up. Now keep in mind, this guitar shop is probably 45 minutes away from where I sold this. It's a Friday afternoon. The likelihood of Kevin being in the store at the same time that this guy is in the store is, and Kevin doesn't even know the gentleman at the time, is just a crazy, unlikely event. But Kevin hears this wonderful music coming, and this guy's quite a guitar player, and he looks over and he says, man, that guitar sounds good. And he walks over, and it's this guitar. He wasn't intending on selling the guitar. He was just there to kind of show it off and tell everybody about it and play it for him. And one of the things he had said is, wow, I don't know who owned this guitar, but somebody really played it a lot. And Kevin said, I know who owns this guitar. It's my friend Scott. I just talked to him this morning. Kevin immediately calls me. He asked me, I think this is your guitar. Can you tell me anything to look for? I said, yeah, there's a little nick right below the neck, right there. On the last day of recording my Who's Your Surf album, I put it there. I banged up against a table. And I said, there's some tape residue where the pickup used to go in the inside hole. Both of those things checked out. So Kevin asked him, would you like to sell that guitar? And Kevin bought it for me immediately and got it back to me. First day I had it back, Kevin actually bought it, and I hadn't seen it. We were playing at a place called Kelsey Farms in southern Indiana, kind of like a big pumpkin patch kind of thing. Huge, though, and an Oktoberfest. and it felt like home immediately. I forgot how good it sounded, and from the get-go, it was like, it felt like the guitar was home, and that when I put it on, I got this warm fuzzy from head to toe, and it was just like it was supposed to be there. You know, it was just like, you're home now. Play me. Wabash waters cut through my town, collecting shadows southward bound. Sometimes it's quiet, like a gentle summer night. Sometimes it rages, like a freight train passing by.